All right. We should be going here. What is up, guys? I'm not going to be playing RE4 today. No, I will not. This is just kind of like a hangout stream. I will be playing some RE4, though. And here's Jesse. When the black cat crosses, that's how you know it's going to be a good stream. All right, we got King Shadow, Mr. Patriot, Fran Rowe, Danger Dylan, John Ron, Sycon's in here, Maximus, Christine, hello there, Al Simmons, what's up? Leon looks like an effective, or sorry, if emo, yeah, he's definitely full emo, this game. We got Jack in here, Hawkeye, Caesar, Tess, Cypher, let's see, Masai, PFC, Shaika, what's going on? Or Shaika, what's up, Emmanuel? Yeah, no, I am here for you guys today for a couple hours here. I just want to kind of just answer questions about Resident Evil 4 Remake, kind of keep it on that discussion, and just kind of have a good time. It's been a couple weeks for me to kind of do a bunch of videos, do a podcast, you know, cover the showcase. So there's been a lot going on in terms of, you know, Resident Evil stuff. I mean, there's just so much news that's going on, and I'm so excited for just like this next wave of Resident Evil stuff. But yeah, I know the wait seems a little long for Resident Evil 4. What's up, John Hammonds? We got our YouTube members in here. Daniel Dylan says, have I watched a movie called The Northman? It's weird but good. Yes, I actually have. Check this out, Dylan. So, like, when you have enough points at Cinemark, you can get these, like, it's a bottle opener. And it came with this. I will avenge your father. I will save your mother. I will kill your father. So, it comes with, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, I like The Northman. I also like The Lighthouse. Shout out to Josh Hyland. Me and him saw that in the theater together, and our minds were fucking just blown away. Born to be rad, Garrett, what is up, brother? Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate this. You know, you see it. I'm seeing you in here. Sorry, I'm all fucked up and flabbergasted here. I got so many people coming in just saying hello. This is awesome. Born to be rad. I've been checking out your recent videos and stuff like that. I just saw the Hall of Fame, and that was an awesome stream, man. That was so killer. Garrett was asking, did you get the Evil Dead game? I've literally played 10 minutes since the day it came out. I need people to play with. Yeah, no, definitely. We got to play that, man. That thing is cross-play. So that means that we can play it on any console, any, like, you know, if you have it on one thing, I have it on another, we could still play it. So, yeah, man, I definitely got to hit you up and we could play. I really have to play it more. I've been doing so much, like, RE stuff instead of actually playing non-RE games. So I really got to put more time into that game. And it's a very challenging game, but I feel like if you have the right team to kind of get everything together and you know what to do, because that was a lot of, like, the objectives of that game was like, okay, you have to do this. And, like, everyone has to be in the same, it's kind of like Friday the 13th where, like, you would have to look for stuff to escape. And if you didn't have, like, two teammates doing the right thing, you're like, dude, what the hell? Like, we need to get this battery for this car, and I just checked 6 cabins and they checked 0. So getting all that shit there is perfect. I can't wait to actually get that lined up and play. Got to play with you, man. And Evil Dead, again, I thought it was a pretty good game. We got, let's see. Ninja says, Game Awards, might as well give RE4 Remake an award. Yeah, I know, right? It might sweep the awards for sure. Matt Stewart, we got another YouTube member in here. Appreciate you coming in here and staying on for another month. Appreciate that. What would be Ada's new outfit? I think the new outfit, I mean, I think a lot of people saw that in the trailer and they're like, oh man, she might not have the dress. I still think the dress might make a return. Or if it doesn't, it might be in a alternate outfit or whatever. Yeah, check out Lighthouse, Dylan. Check it out. Let's see. Jack says, let's see. Jack says, something that would be great to see your thoughts on is, since I brought it up in a few streams, it would be interesting to hear how they're going to handle Wesker in RE4 Remake. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about Wesker, because, I mean, I think that Wesker can easily come back. If they want to keep him behind the scenes, they could save him. I really want to see if they want to save him more for 5 Remake, if they do that again, because they might be like, let's just keep him behind the scenes. Like, let's not put him in front. But I don't know, you have to have Ada. Wesker is part of the organization it's called the Organization, and that's part of Ada, and that's part of Jack Krauser's, like, why they're circling around RE4. So I feel like for them to not do that would be very, very weird. What's up, Gary Garcia? Quentin, what's up? Says, what's up? And chat can't stay long. I'm at brunch, stopping by to leave a like. Have a great rest of the stream. Thank you so much, Quentin. RE4 was my first M-rated game, says Danger Dylan. Yeah, that's going to be, that's I think that's a lot of people's first rated M game. That, or like, I feel like God of War was the first, like, the OG God of War was the first, like, original rated M game. And Halo, because Halo was technically rated M after a certain point. Boyner Rass says, hey man, awesome. Let's hook up soon. Thanks for watching the Hall of Fame stream. I loved Friday the 13th, so I feel like I'll like this one. I'd probably suck, but I just want to have some fun with people. Yeah, no, that is going to be that is, again, the ultimate multiplayer game, where I feel like if you play it by yourself, you kind of don't really get the same experience. And I really think that there's a lot that kind of goes into that, like, strategy of, like, okay, we have to cast the spell now, or revive this person here, drive in this car or whatever, and it runs, like, so much smoother than Friday the 13th did. Friday the 13th ran smoother later because they had to, like, patch it and do a bunch of stuff. But if you played that since day one, it was a little janky. But now Evil Dead, on the other hand, actually runs really smooth. So I definitely want to play it more. I haven't played all the maps either. There's a lot of maps that are from the films and from Ash vs. Evil Dead. So there's just a lot of stuff I want to see. I really hope that they have, a really good success with that. I hope it doesn't just kind of end, because the Friday the 13th game just kind of ended, and I wish that the servers were still up and all that stuff. You can still do private matches, but it's not the same. Did a bunch of people raid the chat yesterday? Slow mode. I kind of just did that. I did that to avoid, like, spam bots and shit like that, because they were still kind of getting through on members only, or not members only, subscribers only. So I put the chat to subscribers only, but, like, they were still getting through. I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like it'll happen if I talk about it. Like, I'll talk the spam chats into the chat. But yeah, the slow mode is just on for now. It's not going to be permanent, but the subscriber only will stay permanent. I like Ada's new outfit as well, Psycon. What's up, Harley? Danger Dylan says, Code Veronica remake when? Yeah, I don't know. I really think, like, 95% of fans want Code Veronica just as much as, there's obviously a percentage that prefer RE4 overall, but it just, again, I think they're focusing on the main line, because that makes the most money. Code Veronica, I don't think, made a lot of money. Not enough. It's got a cult following, right? We love it. But I think the controls will feel similar, Dried Mango. RE4 might go downhill. I don't know. I mean, it could go either way, right? But I think the remakes are pretty safe because it's, I feel like the newer games have more of a chance of hurting people. Ray's Peace says, nice shirt. Oh, thanks, man. Love Parkway Drive. I mixed. They're gonna have Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 maybe in this new era that they're having, right? And they can easily retell stuff. They can easily retell 5 and retell 6 again. So that's something that could easily happen. And I don't think that it's going to be a big thing. Ninjasi says, you think they'll expand on the Bella Sisters lore? You know, I would love to see more Bella Sisters and Dr. Salvador. I would love to see all that stuff, and for them to talk about that. That would be so killer, you know? I think it's one of those things where it's like there is a lot of stuff that I can't wait to kind of see if it returns, but also I just want to see if we get these little mini boss fights in between everything, because I love that, you know, there is initiative to go after the Bella Sisters, right? Like there was times in RE4 where I just wouldn't even go because I didn't have the ammunition after El Gigante. You know what I mean? Let's see. Jack says, if they go with keeping him in the dark, I wonder if they will mean he'll be selectable in Mercenaries or super powerful punches, or they'll explain his powers. Yeah, I know, because there really was just kind of like behind the scenes, and then he was in Mercs, so you kind of got to look at him, but it was like not. It was like RE5 is when we really saw him break out. Word, what is up? Another fellow member in the chat, flexing with the emojis. I appreciate that. Let's see. I'm trying to get the questions here. Summer of RE is here. I followed the channel since 2013 when we weren't getting a lot of games. Loving the great era of RE. Yes, Jedi. That's a great point, right? I was just talking to Brandon about this, my buddy Brandon, about like how dead the era was in 2012 and 2013. There really wasn't anything going on, you know what I mean? It was definitely a low time for the Capcom IPs, and you know, waiting to get something that, you know, replenished everything, and it started to gain momentum with RE7. You know, that's where the momentum really started to pick up. Where it says hit the thumbs up, that's right. We got, you know, over 100 people in here, so definitely hit that thumbs up and leave a question in the chat for RE4 Remake. That's the discussion today. Or any other, you know, Resident Evil stuff. You know, we got Village stuff too, but I know most people care about RE4. Let's see. If you get to see Parkway in concert, do it. One of the best concerts. Yes, Gary Garcia, me and my buddies actually saw, me and Dave, we saw Parkway at Warped Tour 2014 in Camden, New Jersey. And it was still one of the best shows. We started the circle pit. We pushed people back, you know what I mean? We were getting into it. My buddy Dave lost his shoe during a circle pit during Karma, the song Karma. And then he found it because a guy was holding it up. And I have a video of him coming back with the shoe. And it was just so killer. So, yeah, Parkway Drive, fucking love them. Really bummed out they canceled the tour this year because I was trying to go see that. But, you know, what are you going to do? What's next for Capcom after RE4? I don't know. You know, we were talking about this a little bit in the RE2 remake streams. And I would say it's one of those things where Resident Evil 4 could lead to RE5, right? Immediately, like I said. They can retell it however they want. They can respin it however they want, right? Or they can keep it the same. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think what they could easily do is go back to 1. Because that's safe. It hasn't been done yet. It's a safe bet in terms of they're easily going to get people to spend money on that. Because people want to see the Spencer Mansion in the RE engine. They want to see it running. So that is really going to be a big step up for them. Is going to be just like, hey, we can actually just go back to 1. Make 1 through 4 a streamlined thing, and then wherever they go from there is where they go, right? They might stop hitting the remake train so hard. They might go back to the spin-offs. Who's to say? I don't know if there's going to be a bunch of stuff that is going to be like, you know, I don't know. Because the spin-offs have just been like, they're going to happen, they're not going to happen. They really have been tapping the remake stuff because you know, strike while the iron's hot. So that's really the big thing, is like, don't let the momentum stop. You know what I mean? Yes, for some reason I always thought the Bella Sisters were scarier than Dr. Salvador. I agree. And Jassy, they're scary. They're terrifying. Chris Kennedy, another fellow YouTube member, says, "What's up, RE fans and Anthony? LTRE is alive and uninfected from the T-virus." Yes, I'm still kicking, still doing content. We got 100 people in here, but only 50 likes. So if you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, and contribute in the chat for some RE4 remake discussion. Do I think they'll do a hunt game, Harley? I don't know. But I think another Umbrella Raccoon City game could easily happen. You know, something that takes place within Raccoon City. Something that is Outbreak but isn't Outbreak, because they might not do that. That's always possible. Let's see. Master says, I really hope they change up the Krauser fight, not the QTE one. Well, a lot of people like the QTE, and some people don't. So it's really weird. I think a lot of comments are mixed about that. Let's see. In RE4, we had the water world mode in Mercenaries, or the map. Do you think that we'll get a similar area like that? I hope so. I really want to see those maps return, Mr. Patriot. So as long as they don't touch RE4's save room theme, or save room music, says Blitches, the RE4 music is immaculate, you know what I mean? I really hope they do an original soundtrack swap, because playing RE2 Remake with the soundtrack swap makes me, like, wonder why they didn't do it for 3, and it kind of pisses me off. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know, they didn't do it for 3, and they should have. But it is what it is. Any thoughts on the Silent Hill comeback rumors? And Jassy, I would say I believe it when I see it, because we've been hearing these rumors for so long, and I think it could easily happen. But the thing is that, you know, it's going to be them looking at the RE remake stuff, and they're going to be like, that's making a lot of money. We should probably do that, especially after RE4. Holy shit, we got a first super chat of the day, $9.99 from the Resident Airsofter. That's a great name. RE5 was my most played RE game. If they remake it, I hope they make Barry and Rebecca playable and included in the story. Also, remake wishlist Dino Crisis, Onimusha, RE Code Veronica, and Outbreak. That's a great wish list, man. Onimusha's great. Code Veronica, that's a given. Everyone wants to see that. Outbreak, people have been wanting an online Resident Evil for so long. And Dino Crisis, that's just what we wanted, you know. We want Dino Crisis in the RE engine, but again, they seem to be doing, you know, the multiplayer thing. So that's kind of the game that they're trying to play right now. A lot of multiplayer stuff. You got Resistance, you got Reverse, you got Exoprimal, you got these multiplayer-based games that Capcom are kind of dipping their toe in. Jax says, according to some RE... Thank you for the $10 super chat, by the way. I think RE5 is one of my most played RE games, too. The co-op on that game is so fun. I love Resident Evil 5. I will be approaching RE5 with, you know, another fellow RE YouTuber one of these days, so you know who you are. Let's see. Jax says, according to some RE4 leaks that have been validated to a degree, well, you know, come on. You got to take that with a grain of salt. 3 bosses have been cut from the original roster. Let's imagine that. Which 3 would you cut? I wouldn't cut any of them. Just cut some shit in the island, maybe. Maybe the order of stuff, but I like all the bosses, personally. Well, that's the thing, though. What story can they do with RE5 Remake? It seems that RE5 has no flaws to make a remake. If anything, Code Veronica Remake, Outbreak or Code Veronica Remake is a better option, says Mr. Patriot. Yeah, they could. You know what I mean? I think each one would sell really well. What's up, Diamond Rattler? Another Clock Tower game. Clock Tower game. I don't even know when's the last Clock Tower game. When did that come out? Let's see. JM says, I don't mind if they cut JJ from the list of enemies. That enemy was kind of out of place. What the hell is the JJ enemy from RE4? Anthony, are the DualSense features good for RE2 PS5? Yeah, I actually think they're really good. Danger Dylan says no QTE. Yeah, a lot of people don't want the QTE. RE Survivor Remake says Connor Harvey 2025. Messiah doesn't think they're going to make RE5. I think they could. Hayden says make the QTEs more engaging, modernize it. Something they can do. Hope we get to see the giant chainsaw man as a boss in the campaign. Oh man, not the giant one. Yeah, Harley, a lot of people say that about RE4. You know, where like RE5 is like you don't need to remake it because it is just good as it is, you know what I mean? Despite some story stuff, I wish they kind of tied up a little bit nicer, but hope they don't cut let's see, some of the enemies out of the game, like El Gigantes, Regenerators, Vertigo, says King Shadow. And Jassy says if they're going to take out QTEs, leave the Boulder, QTE, and Leon versus Krauser cutscenes. Yeah. I mean, I think... I don't know. I would say maybe not... The Boulders, I could see maybe for like a little bit, but even that, it's like, damn, really? Are these guys going to be... I don't know, maybe more booby traps, like different kind of booby traps they set up, you know? Francis, I like the vibe of RE4 Remake, balancing the action, implement more survival horror. And I would like RE4, like an RE4 like I always wanted. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people wanted more horror. Okay, so it's the Gatling gun guy. Okay, so that's who JJ is. Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to get shot at with a bunch of guns and bows, and really kind of throws the vibe off with the island. So yeah, I really don't want that. I hope they include the island, but just dramatically change the tones, says Dried Mango. Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot that they have to keep with the whole game to keep it consistent, you know. Vader thinks we do need Code Veronica. Yeah, a lot of people would agree. See, Basm says, "Sup, Anthony? You have no idea how much I love your channel. What do you think about RE1? About RE1 wasn't remade with RE Engine. That feels weird for me that it was ignored. Well, like we're just saying, I think that might be a logical place to go after 4, you know." Cypher says, "Do you think they will show connective tissue of Operation Javier with a flashback cutscene and more impact on Krauser and Leon's story?" I think it's possible, but they also can't, like, you know, just have it randomly in the game, randomly like that, because I feel like it has to be a certain, I don't know, it has to be like a certain, I don't know, they just got to approach Krauser a little differently, kind of like what I mentioned in my videos, like, just try to make it, you know, make a little bit more sense. Will you be purchasing RE4 Collector's Edition if they make one? Absolutely, sky's the limit. Absolutely. Jack says, I think it was forced to cut 3. I'd go with Vertigo, U3, and second Krauser fight. I'd have him be 1 boss instead of 2. That's pretty good. I can't really think of any ones that I would, like, really want cut, Jack. But Unruly Z says, bro, tell me you're going to make it outside and enjoy the amazing weather today. It's an NJ beach day for sure. It is Unruly. And, yeah, I'm only going to be live for, you know, an hour and a half. So I've already been going for 30 minutes. So I'm going to go for another hour. Obviously, taking questions. We got 122 people in here, but still only 80 likes. We got to get those likes to over 100, guys. That helps me out a lot. What's up, Ty? Ninja says, I'd rather RE6 remake than RE5. Yeah, I know, right? A lot of people want that to be reconstructed. Do you think RE4 remake will have inventory box? No item box, but it'll have the weapon cases. Hope ammunition. That's a GTA reference. Ammunition is hard to find. I think it'll be the same. I think it'll be like just, you know, different modes will give you certain bulks of ammo, right? Where it says they're probably going to leave out the dog. The dogs, I can take it or leave it. I would want them to just kind of keep the chainsaw guy, and I don't know. The dogs I always felt were kind of like just kind of there, like in RE4. Like they're okay, and they just like they growled at you and they would jump at you sometimes. But I hope Del Lago fight won't be in another crocodile move along. Oh yeah, like how it was in RE2. Yeah, I want it to be a fight. By the time they get around to remaking all the games in RE Engine, RE2 will feel dated. I mean, not at the rate they're pumping them out, you know what I mean, and the way they're keeping them updated and stuff. Team Kong says, I hope it has ragdoll physics. He's really upset about that. Resident Airsoft says, I think the QTE would be better if they made it like Detroit Become Human. I haven't played that, but I know what you mean. It's kind of like Until Dawn, where it's like you click the button and it's like a thing, and it's like synced up. I know there's modern ways to do it, but let's see here. Harley says, Anthony, how would you feel about Lost Planet remake? I would love Lost Planet. I fucking love Lost Planet. I played the shit out of Lost Planet. I still have my copy over there, right over here. Right around here of Lost Planet. Still have it. Got it on my birthday that year. Never traded it in. Played it online like a motherfucker. Played the campaign like a motherfucker. I loved that game. Really love Lost Planet. I want to see Vertigo and RE Engine. I want to see that too, Ryan. Resident Dr. Evil says, I definitely think we need a Code Veronica remake. Definitely don't need a remake of 4, but hopefully it's more survival horror based. Yeah, I mean, I hope that it's survival horror based, right? I don't think they're going to go in that direction where they're just going to make it full on action again because they know what fans want. I think this is going to be more in lines of RE2 in terms of like it being closer to what people want. It's the same team. I have faith, you know, because I know it's going to be a common question. I don't think RE4 needs a remake, says Mike's, but now that it's coming, no cut content from the original. Like I just said, Mike, I think you won't have to worry about that. The Venom says, I wonder where Capcom is going to go after 4. Probably RE1, the Venom. Word says, I don't think we need a 5 and 6. I don't know. I just don't think they will. Yeah, I mean, you know, RE4 is going to make them a lot. You know, it's going to sell really well, so we'll see. You know, JM says, please leave a like. This is one awesome channel for RE content. Well, thank you. Vader says, I hope Krauser gets his boss fight in RE4 Remake and the famous knife scene. Yeah, I think we'll get that. What do you think? When do you think we get a new trailer? Benovsky, I think we'll get one Tokyo Game Show. I think we'll see some stuff at Tokyo Game Show, maybe a collector's edition. That's going to be a couple months from now. It's in September. I don't think we'll get any more RE4 legitimate stuff this summer. I think they're kind of just like they wanted to put it out, get the hype rolling. People like us will keep it going, you know. The good boy doggo, I think they will, Danger Dylan. Brandon Lewis says, my bet it's going to have a lot of action with tension. Well, like even more Ganados on screen attacking and swarming you, like the RE5 beta trailer. Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like from the little Capcom showcase they showed with like all of them kind of surrounding him in the cabin. Do you hope they bring back Wesker, says Unruly, to the forefront more in this, or leave him behind the curtain villain? Wesker never really felt like a villain for Leon. I think they could still kind of keep him behind the scenes, but still, you know, kind of have him, you know, give him a design, give him a voice, give him some kind of essence in this new remake line, because we know he's there. And like I said, the organization isn't there without him, Ada, Krauser, so he's got to be there. Danger Dylan says, I want the Suffering remake or remaster. That game is underrated. I agree, Danger Dylan. That comes up a lot. A lot of people like that. Dead Space Remake comes out in January, so it will be a busy 2023. Yes. Busy for me, too, because I want to stream. I'm going to stream Callisto Protocol for you guys. I'm going to stream the Dead Space Remake for you guys, you know, in addition to everything else that's, you know, Resident Evil. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Do you think they'll include gunpowder to create bullets? Caesar, I think they will. I think they've done it so far, so. What's your favorite RE game? Mine is RE1 Classic and Remake. It's a tie. That's T. Hinson. Mine is RE3 Original. That's my favorite game of all time, not just Resident Evil game. Hayden Dunlap says, after 4 Remake, they can go back to do RE1, then do 9, and then they can either remake 5 or Code Veronica. It would be whichever the CS talking about more. Probably Code Veronica. Yeah, Hayden, I mean, I think them going to RE1 then 9 is more logical. I don't know. I think they'll look more at just kind of what financially suits it, you know, because I think Code Veronica wasn't really included in a lot of polls and stuff that they were kind of pushing around, and they didn't really talk about it a lot, unfortunately. I want them to go to Code Veronica, though. Like, I've championed Code Veronica more over the years. I've become more of a fan. But, yeah, Hype Train. Choo Choo, what's up, Maximus? Let's see. Harley says, last question. Do you think RE4 Remake should have more wood levels? Probably more wildlife instead of just wolves like in the original. I think so. Yeah, I think we'll get a lot more expanded in the RE engine. Team Kong says, I really hope RE4 is PS5 only because the PS4 will hold it back, and I want Demon Souls wow factor. Well, it looks like it's going to be on the current gen. You know, they've never held anything back in terms of, like, they always made the better version, right? And they never, like, you know, stopped themselves. That's not how companies do it. But I agree, though. I do think that it should just be on the newer consoles. It needs to look the best, run the best. And these older consoles can't do it anymore, you know? Unruly says they should definitely dial back the melee animations like in the original. Watching Leon kick 5 Ganados simultaneously, watching them fly 25 feet away really moves it away from realism. No, I know what you mean. There's some crazy physics in that. I don't mind all that though. Like they can keep it because like Leon's a little bit more powerful. But yeah, definitely streamline the melee. Maybe have him have a dodge button or a punch button or a kick, something he can throw into combos. Not just walking for 10 seconds. Yeah, probably more gameplay than Venom. Jack says, I have a feeling they're going to remake 6. Not the remake where you see the biggest difference between the original game and the remake. That'll probably be the biggest one. They would definitely change a lot of it. Yeah, I agree. I really agree they would. Chris Kennedy says RE4 Remake will have gameplay of pre-orders available at Sony PS5's Game Showcase in September. Well, there you go. If Sony has a showcase in September before Tokyo Game Show, then chances are September will be it. Do you want to see Regenerators and Iron Maidens in the remake? Absolutely, Vader Cool. Cypher Corner says, do you think there'll be a similar upgrade system to the characters through the Merchant, like in Village? Absolutely, Cypher. That's definitely happening, because that's all there because the Merchant was there, so... The Resident Airsoft says, to be honest, I'm kind of sick of Leon. They need to give more love to the other survivors. I mean, Barry and Rebecca, absolutely. No, we have seen Leon a lot, and I think maybe we'll see some more other characters after this remake, you know? That's why I was kind of pissed they did Chris dirty. I was like, damn, Chris Redfield's my favorite, and I wish he was in Village more, you know? Mr. Pedro says, I have a feeling that the island is going to be cut since it was a giant lab. Since RE3 Remake changed into having a lab, RE4 might just be underground. That's true. Or it could be an island underground. They can you know, mend it in. How about the Last of Us remake? We don't talk about that, Fran Rowe. I'm not paying $70. I'll probably get it when it's $10. I don't think it needs a remake, but, you know, Naughty Dog fans can, you know, chew me out in the comments. It's fine. Maybe Ada in RE4 Remake will be equipped with ballistics, says Axel, as a twist. Yeah, no, Ada's always packing the heat. It's all good. The Venom says Leon is a poster boy for RE. He's in everything now, even the CGI movies. Yeah, no, he is a poster boy, and he sells. And for RE4, he sells. So, I mean, I still like Leon as a character, and I want to see what they do. Let's see. We need a good game with Hunk. Maximus, that'd be great for a spinoff. TK says, how could it be we have the Spencer Mansion in Unreal Engine 5? Well, they don't use RE Engine, but Unreal Engine, but they use RE Engine. But seeing stuff in Unreal Engine is cool. You know, I've seen the videos and I've seen those little fan-made things, but it looks awesome, you know. But a lot of people want to see the Spencer Mansion in this way, you know. Will John come back and talk about RE4? He may come back and do stuff on his channel. He is launching his channel, Survivor John, and I can plug that, you know. So he's going to be doing a bunch of content over there when he's ready to put out videos. So stay tuned for that. It'll be up and coming. So Resident Airsoft says Code Veronica is probably difficult because the Alfred thing. It might not go well over today. You know, some people say that, but like I feel like they could still kind of get away with it because it's still kind of just like a story. You know, I feel like stuff like that shouldn't stop things from coming out. You know what I mean? I think if anything, it should just feel, you know, it should just kind of blend in with, you know, a lot of the stuff that people, you know, maybe aren't used to seeing. Code Veronica, like that whole thing with Alfred, it's like, dude, I don't even really think about that when I play. Like, it happens, but like, and yeah, the character is the character, you know what I mean? It's clearly, you know, it's not like they've done that since, but like, I don't think that's why they're not doing it. Because some people say like, that's why they're not doing Code Veronica. Like, I don't think that's the reason. Like, I just think Code Veronica didn't sell well, and they barely really talked about it on any of the feedback from the players, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't sell as much as RE4. Like, RE4 sells a fuck ton. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. Resident Evil isn't realistic. Go ham. That's true, Brandon Lewis. There's a lot of crazy, outrageous things in the video game. That's why it's a video game. The Venom says, I have faith RE4 Remake will be a great game like RE2. Let's see. Developing it, feeling it won't have the same nostalgia as OG RE4. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, you know, that was a different era in gaming. You know what I mean? It just was a completely different era. So it's hard to have stuff have the same impact, you know what I mean? King Shadow says, I think the dodge button might be similar to RE3, much better. I don't know if they'll give Leon a full-on dodge, though. You know, maybe a melee. I don't know. I have a theory that Salazar and Lady D will somehow be connected, considering they're both royalty and fans of viruses. That's true, Axel. A lot of people are saying the connection of the... I personally would like them to keep it separate. I think 4 is its own thing, and it has its own lore, and I don't want it to get diluted with a bunch of village stuff, but that's just my opinion, you know? Let's see. There's always hope, Anthony, for us Chris fans, and the ending of RE8 is anything to go off of. We can hope RE9 is a big send-off for Chris. I hope so, man. I hope so. Sky's the Limit says, how many hours would you want RE4 Remake to be? I mean, all the remakes, really, when you get them down to a science, are like, 6 hours long, 8 hours long. Maybe 12 the first time you play it, but, like, really, like, when you get RE, because people are like, RE3 Remake is short, man! And then I play RE2 Remake, and I'm like, dude, I'm getting this thing done in, like, 2 hours. And I haven't played it in 2 years. So, like, what... It's like all the remakes can technically be shorter when you get better at them. All the original Resident Evil games were shorter when you got better at them. But I think generally, like, it should be like, maybe 12 hours, 12, it'd be like 12 to 16 first time, you know what I mean? Give or take. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you can always get it down to a science. RE4 obviously was a longer game. So I do expect this game to be a little bit longer than RE2 and RE3 Remake. But I never got that comparison with RE2 and RE3. I'm like, dude, they're like the same length. You know what I mean? When you get it down to a T. But and the Wawa iced tea has to be consumed. Ah, perfect.
My life is shit.
Leon should have a beard. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know. I don't really care if they have facial hair. It's a video game character. I mean, he looks older. He looks a little bit more tired. He didn't have a beard in the original. Hopefully they don't cut out the Captain Crunch, a.k.a. Ramon Salazar. He was the key antagonist in the OG RE4. No, I don't think they will. What are you excited about and nervous with RE4? I think I'm excited about seeing how everything kind of switches up cohesively with the story and what they can do there to fix some of the flaws. I guess nervous, I'm not so nervous, but I'm obviously, like, I'm just hoping that there's not cut stuff in there that will make me, not like it as much or whatever. I don't know what's going on with the spin-off game Vader. We haven't heard much. What's going on, Abraham Torres, another fellow YouTube member? Appreciate you coming in always and supporting. Valens, I'm not too worried about that. I think they'll do a good job with the designs. I think we should see Jill eventually. I really hope so. You know what I mean? I beat RE3 Remake the same night I bought it. RE2 Remake is definitely longer. Yeah, by very little, JJ. 1696. Very little. Wawa is goated. Thank you, Joe. Joe Cal knows what's going on. Hope Salazar. Let's see. Yeah, I think Salazar will still be a little person. I think they'll still do that, and they'll still make him young. Even though Krauser is a B-side villain in RE4, I think it would be more impactful to see him in the final fight. Mano a mano, considering Darkside Chronicles, Krauser was jealous of Leon. Yeah, I know. I just kind of want them to start and wrap that up pretty well. I agree with that. Sky's the limit. I think Luis might have the same outcome, but I wouldn't be really mad about that as long as they keep his death like similar. Because if they don't change it like Brad's, where like it was really drastically different. Jack says, I hope the codec conversations are still in the game. However, I think they will just have, let's see. Yeah, I think we talked about that, Jack, on the stream. I think they might just have like chatter, like radio chatter for Hunnigan. I think that will be the go-to, because then you can keep moving, the gameplay keeps going, it doesn't stop for I think that intercom thing will be completely cut. I mean, look, Metal Gear Solid did it first. It was cool back then, but like, they could just have the radio stuff come in. But I think they'll just cut that out. Let's see. Oh, dude, yeah. All the enemies in the RE engine are going to look crazy, Ryan. I cannot wait. We need more sandwich, though. I know. We need more Jilly sandwich. What's up, Jennifer? Welcome. Valen says Krauser was too much of a superhero villain. They could adjust some of that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They can always change up his final form, maybe. I don't know. Make his fight so you can't just knife him and then he's dead, Brandon Lewis says RE3 just needed more Nemesis before the transformation from 2 to 3, Type 2 and 3, more areas and more downtown areas. Yeah, no, I agree, and I really don't understand why, they don't change Birkin, they don't change any of those designs, really. They still look similar, but then they change my favorite design, Type 2 Nemesis, for, like, into this dog form. So, yeah, that was definitely not that was not cool for me. Vertigo fight in the dark sewers with only a flashlight would be neat. Yes. It's very dark, especially with the RE engine. They can really fuck with that lighting. I think we'll see new stuff with the president, like in RE6, based on the flashback, though. Well, that was a different president. So there were completely different presidents. But yes, President Graham we'll see more of. Did you ever watch the goofy Bad Ben movies that were filmed in Egg Harbor? No, I actually haven't. I know about them, though. Saigon says, hope they make Louis stick around more, make us more invested in the character, because as much as I love him in the original, I wasn't that sad when he died. Yeah, he wasn't around as much, so I agree. Making him have more of a presence is cool. Perhaps Hunnigan is a mini-screen when you play. I just think a radio transfer would do, maybe. I don't know. Cypher says, would want the Separate Ways story in? Absolutely. I think it should still be on unlockable mode, or just implement some scenarios. I know some of it seems like filler, but I definitely love Separate Ways. I always loved Ada's story in there. TK says, I think the intro of RE4 will have us play Ashley, and then it will go to Leon. Hopefully we could play as Louis with the Red 9, or have us buy it. Here's hoping. Yeah, I think it might open with Ashley. You know what I mean? I think it might open with her getting kidnapped. The RE4 font looks so basic in the RE4 trailer. Don't quote me on this, but I have a feeling RE4 Remake is shorter. I don't think so. And I actually personally like the logo. I love the tree branches in it. I love it. It reminds me of a very like fall, woodsy kind of vibe. I hope they include at least someone with a chainsaw in the castle. I know some people wouldn't like it, but it would fit. But it could. It could, Hayden. It could. But it could also leave rooms for some other of the, the cult enemies to kind of shine, because each section has, the mini bosses on top of that, and they kind of pepper in the chainsaw later. And the mines and stuff like that too, after the castle. So yeah, I don't know. Vader's saying if they did Ultimate Sacrifice or the same thing dies in the middle of the game, Capcom should do more with how it goes out. It could. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Nemesis dog, Mr. Patriot. What's up, Nick? Fellow YouTube member Nick in the house. What's up, man? What do you think about RE Engine in all of the RE games recently? I loved it. I think, especially with these upgrades on the current gen, it's fun to see like these different areas kind of redone, and it looks great. I mean, I always thought it looked great when they started to work on this engine, and all of their other games are running on it. And I know it's Reach for the Moon, whatever, but it's really cool that it's just. I don't know. I like seeing all the different games in this perspective, and I think it looks beautiful. Shadow says, hot take, cut Krauser from the game and make him have his own game with Leon. He's too big of a character to have in RE4. I wouldn't agree with that, Shadow, but I definitely would like to still see him, I don't know. I still would like to see him in here. But, which game do you think is going to take the crown for the upcoming horror games between Dead Space and Callisto? That's a good one, man. again, a lot of great stuff coming out, but I think that it's going to be off to the races between Callisto. In order, it's Callisto, Dead Space, RE4 Remake. And if it wasn't for RE4 Original, you wouldn't have Dead Space and you wouldn't have Callisto Protocol. So it's kind of funny to see that kind of happen, right? And who's going to take the crown. RE4 Remake can easily be better than both of those games. You know, I guess I'll be playing them all, so I guess I'll have an opinion. But I know it's a little bit different because two of them are remakes, one is an original IP, but it's kind of, you know, influenced by his past work. So I don't know. That's a good question. There's going to be a lot of great stuff to play. So that's you know, I think this generation of gaming is finally it's starting. Like 2023, I think is going to be the year when stuff starts, like December onward. Damn, Axel thinks Luis is going to be killed early. I don't think he's going to be killed that early, man. King Shadow says, will Luis be a friend or an enemy to Leon? I think a friend. I think he'll help him out. Nick says, I like RE4. I'm not crazy about it, but what I'm seeing so far is the remake has got me fired up. He's excited. Definitely those 3 games are on my list. Definitely Chris Kennedy. Brother Man, what's up? He says, I hope they cut the over-the-top stuff like Vertigo, Salazar Robot, El Gigante Lava Fight, U9. Salazar's fight to be more like U9. I think that would be cool. Wait, and there's U3. Don't forget U3. You know, I want U3 boss fight to be in there. My favorite boss in RE4 is favorite boss in RE4 is probably, damn, that's a good question. Favorite boss in RE4. I don't know. I think one of my favorites is, I love the Del Lago fight and the El Gigante fight. I love the El Gigante fight. Yeah, there's so many good ones. But yeah, I always like those two. Those two always stand out. Would you be down with a scary RE5 remake? I would if they kept the co-op. Oh yeah, I'm all for it. Hey y'all, your thirst boy memory is back. Hey Anthony, what's up? Memory thirst. Let's see. What if the stalker was the chainsaw guy? When you're roaming the village, or the big cheese? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Vader could be the big cheese. That's what I'm thinking. I do love the Bitteros Mendez fight. That'd probably be up there too on my top 3. Yeah, I agree, Ty. I mean, it's being made by the same team that did RE2 Remake, so it might be more, more connected, a little bit in terms of stuff not being cut.
My life is shit.
Yeah, Jack, Ada could definitely do something like that where it could switch up, How long you become a Resi fan, and why choose Resident Evil rather than any other horror game? I think I've been a Resident Evil fan since I was a kid, small, barely able to play video games, just by watching. And then I always gravitated towards it because I loved horror. I love survival horror. I love the characters. I love the music. I love the charm. And I always just kind of grew with it over the years and followed it and collected it. And I always had a certain connection to it in that PS1 era. And then I always wanted to do Resident Evil content. So I started back in 2010. I had a couple channels before that. I started YouTube really in 2007 with my film channel. But then when I wanted to really focus on gaming and doing Resident Evil podcasts, which there was none at the time, and there was, not really a lot of, there was a handful of, there was like Resident Evil Challenger, there were the OGs, a couple other people that were, into it, or maybe they would do it, and then their other channel was focused on something else. But I always wanted to just focus on my favorite, franchise, which is Resident Evil. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. And the fact that there is now a whole resurgence, I guess, of remakes and stuff, you know, so there's a lot of cool stuff that that kind of came from just sticking with the franchise and talking about it. And now I'm doing this for, you know, this is my job. I'm a content creator now. I do this because you guys are awesome and support me, and it's very cool. And like the fact that we can share new Resident Evil discussions with each other is a great thing. Let's see. How cool would it be to see Leon health bar have lost plagas all over it when Leon's infected? That would be kind of cool, TK. Chris says, it and Regenerator are the two most terrifying monsters. Yeah, U3, which is it, and the Regenerator are definitely pretty terrifying. Let's see. Saki, I'm just going to call you Saki. You misread my question. I was referring to your least favorite boss in the game. Any of those would be cut complete. Oh! Sorry, there's like a million comments coming in. I would say least favorite is probably... Honestly, I always kind of didn't like the Salazar boss fight. Like, it was okay, but I wish there was more to it. So I'd want them to maybe reach, like, I don't know. It was okay, but I don't know. Maybe they could change it up. Damn, Memory Thirst. That pain is awful for sure. My favorite horror game are Fear. Wish they could come out with number 4. Yeah, Jennifer. Fear, the first one, we were just talking about that the other day. That was a pretty good game. I never played it past 1 though. What's up, Minecraft? Yeah, we are all hype. Let's see. Hey, and have you had any Resident Evil fan parodies, especially RE4? It's bad but hilarious. Oh yeah, like the Bentley Brothers. That RE4 Bentley Brothers is classic. I mean, I used to watch that all the time. You know, between them, Resident Evil Challenger, and like a couple other people back then in 2005, there was only a couple people actually doing like Resident Evil themed content. And Bentley Brothers, they did films, but they also did Resident Evil stuff. So, but their most successful stuff was because it broke in that Resident Evil lane. No one was doing Resident Evil parodies back then. They were the first. And just like how Resident Evil Challenger were the first RE streamers and RE content creators on the internet, everyone kind of has their staple, you know, in the building blocks of the community that, you know, and those parodies were so funny. Those were so fucking funny. Yeah, my work is playing and talking about RE. It is a dream come true. And, you know, along with my filmmaking, I'm trying to grow up my, you know, my film channel as well. So doing both things that I want to do is obviously the goal. Maybe maybe one day Minecraft. That was a mixture of words right there. Maybe one day, Jesus Gaming. Do you think the boat scene at the end might be cut, or the cut scene? I think it'll be in there. It's gonna be wild for the most part seeing you grow. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, it's already been kind of a wild ride the past, you know, like, I want to say maybe, you know, obviously the whole 12 years have been pretty crazy. But I think the last, like, 5 years have been, you know, pretty nuts. You know what I mean? With the growth, like, you guys are obviously to thank for that. And, yeah, it's really, it's just cool. You know what I mean? And again, I'm happy there's new stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? There's new stuff to talk about. It's always refreshing. Let's see. Appreciate that, Memory. $5 super chat from Nick says, hit that like button, you animals. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate that. The Team America theme song as Leon starts coming in. Yeah, I know, right? Can't wait to see Luis get pierced by Osmond Sadler. Yes. Fear, hell yeah, I love that trilogy. Fear is great. Fear, I think that played the game where you clap some ghost cheeks. Yeah. Yeah, you have to fight off the ghost. Sartaj Sin, thank you so much for the £8.99. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. The Matt Cave, what's up, man? I remember LTRE when there was 3,000 subs. So crazy to see the growth. Yeah, man. Thunder's with the $10 Canadian. Thunders, thank you so much for the $10 Canadian super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. I want to make sure I'm caught up on all this stuff. I have played Mercenaries 3D. It's actually pretty good. But I just, there's only so much I can play for the 3D before I'm like, I don't really need to have this on. The Silent Hill remake, if it happens, it happens. I mean, I'd be excited for it. I think they'll be, dumb not to do it if they see how much money they're making off this. Thank you guys for the super chats. Reminds me of a young James Marcus, the RE from RE0, the voice of Sadler. Yeah, a little bit. I don't mind his voice, though. Have you thought of making character profiles on characters in the series, or if it matches the characters for subjects on your channel? Yes, definitely doing more, I don't know, like more like lore-heavy discussions. Like, you guys have been enjoying that with the RE4 stuff. That's what I've been putting out the last couple weeks and talking about the old ones. And I have a lot of cool video ideas in the series that's going to kind of go into multiple layers for it's going to be a lot of RE4 stuff. So I'm going to do a lot of character stuff focused on that. So expect a bunch of RE4 stuff, along with the build up to Resident Evil Village, because that gold edition I'm going to cover. So, but I'm not going to stop covering RE4. Sorry to sneeze there. Have you thought of making... I already read that. I imagine Ashley having similar gameplay to Elizabeth from BioShock. We're familiar with those two games and have improved AI. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You're talking about an Ellie from Last of Us, kind of have AI like that. Look, they got to make the AI really solid, you know what I mean? And the last time we had to deal with something like that in Resident Evil was Rev 2, if you guys remember, with Claire and Moira. An RE4 remake in the shot of Leon in the boat, it looks like it's night because it looks darker around the light, or maybe it's from him passing out, fighting Del Lago at night instead. Well, it does transition to night towards the end of that fight, but that's later. The name of the film channel is Inocula Productions. If you can't spell it, that's fine. No one can. But if you go on my channel and go to the channel tab, it is on the connected channels. I'm going to be promoting it more as I get my horror short film done. So that's in the works as well. I do a bunch of shit, guys, if you haven't guessed. I just I'm all over the place. I block out days for this channel, block out days to edit other stuff. Other ideas are happening over there too. Yo, Dave's in the chat, says, yo, Ant. Hope stream's going good, man. Yeah, no, it is, man. The streams have been going awesome. We have 116 people in here and 124 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button. Thank you, Dave, for also being a member. And yeah, man, it was so killer. I was actually telling these guys, I'm wearing the Parkway shirt from the tour we saw them. I was telling them about our Parkway Drive story. Sartaj says, forgot to ask in my super chat, but what's your biggest filmmaking influence, and what did you make of the recent Resi film? Biggest influences would probably be, John Carpenter is probably number one. Halloween is my favorite film of all time. But I love all kinds of films from, George A. Romero as well, Wes Craven, Martin Scorsese, you know what I mean? There's great filmmakers out there. I like all different genres and stuff too, but the recent Resi film, however, was not very good. I didn't really like it as much. I did a whole podcast talking about it, if you want to hear me kind of go more in depth. But it was kind of just more I'm kind of mad they forced 2 games into one movie and really rushed it. I really wish they did the Spencer Mansion in one and just kind of left it at that. I think that really hurt it. And there was a lot of just kind of wasted potential. You have all that money, you have that budget, and yeah, it just goes to shit. The castle in the remake, Azteca, I agree. This might be a random question, but do you think they'll ever bring back Raymond and Jessica from Rev 1? Probably not, man. They do that a lot there where they don't bring shit back. Appreciate that, Cypher. You're going to do Callisto Protocol on the channel when the game releases. Yes, I'm going to stream Callisto Protocol. You've heard it here first. I don't know if it's the first time I said I'm going to stream it. Like I said it earlier in this stream, but before this stream, I think I said, oh yeah, I might cover Callisto Protocol, but no, I will be covering that probably day one. Let's see, because I do like to. I'm also doing Dead Space right now, the original Dead Space one. That won the poll from YouTube members and Patreon supporters. If you sign up, you can vote on content. Yeah, I'm doing Dead Space 1 right now. So I'm kind of replaying through that, the original, old school, and it's fun. And I'm going to be, continuing that. I had to kind of put that on the back burner because RE4 kind of took the center seat. And for the YouTube algorithm, you kind of have to keep doing stuff. So I'm still going to do that. I'm going to bring back the Dead Space stream along with the Summer of RE. That's going to go along with that. So let's see. I don't think the remake will be 2 hours long. You know what I mean, Axel? I don't think you have to worry about that. Camo Matt says, were you able to pick up Resident Evil games from the UK trip? Maybe you have to talk about it already, but I've not been able to watch the most recent stream. No, well, I actually did. I did pick up a couple things. I'm going to be putting together kind of like a little video, part of the podcast, and then I'm going to do a collection update and show you what I did pick up. It wasn't a lot, but I did pick up. I found a CEX over there, and I was able to get stuff, so it was pretty cool. I think they'll do RE5 remake eventually, Azteca. Maybe one day, Minecraft. Maybe one day. My favorite horror my favorite horror film is Cabin in the Woods. That is a good horror film. I mean, it's kind of like a comedy mixed with horror, mixed with like seriousness, mixed with craziness. So yeah, that is a pretty. That movie took me by surprise. Yes, more lore podcasts. One of my favorite pods on here was the one you did with Beggy. I think that's her name. Yeah, Beggy's great. She's part of Row, and yeah, it's. I would love to do more discussion. Beggy's awesome, good friend of the channel, and would love to do more discussion with RE4. Considering we talked about RE4 on that channel, before the big announcements, and then we kind of talked about like how if they remade it. Keeping some of that lore, because we talked about Incubate, we talked about that lore stuff, and yeah, very, very fun show. That's one of my favorite shows I've done, and I can't wait to do more. Can't wait to get the next Halloween ends. I'm praying. Yeah, I really hope it's good, man. I liked Halloween Kills. I didn't hate it like most people, but Halloween Ends, that concept just sounds really dumb, and I really hope they just do a good job with it. That's all I'm gonna say. You have a theory that Callisto and Dead Space are in the same universe, taking place at the same time. They're not doing that, man. They don't. That guy does not own any rights to Dead Space anymore. That's all EA's. So unfortunately, they can't do that. But in a survival horror fan world, yes, that should happen. Do you think Umbrella will have a better downfall explanation in the remake? I hope so, TK. I'm actually going to be doing a video talking about that, but I fucking hope so. I really hope so. What's your opinion on the most underrated RE antagonist? Mine is Ricardo Irving from RE5 or Lucas Baker from RE7. Both, especially living, deserve more screen time. That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's see. That's from Alfredo here. Alfredovich. Underrated RE antagonists. Irving, Irving was definitely a dickhead in 5. Like, he was a good dickhead. Like, he made you want to hate him. I always liked Nikolai, and I think that they gave him more screen time in RE3 Remake a little bit, but, like, I always liked him. I think he was always kind of underrated, because he kind of was there and then he was gone, but I always liked him, just like how he's just so cruel, you know what I mean? Such a dickhead. If there's a new Silent Hill remake, I might potentially cover it, I would like to go back and play the first 2 games again. I play them on the channel as blind runs, that they're all recorded and archived, they're all in the playlist and stuff, but I would like to do an updated stream, where I'm on camera like this in the corner, and it's like updated production, playing it on the PS1, which is kind of like what we did back when I recorded them with Dave Strauss. But no, I'm going to be doing Silent Hill 1 again. It was actually really close between Dead Space 1 Original winning the poll for one of the streams and Silent Hill. It was really a close call. So I think next stream after Dead Space, we might be able to do Silent Hill. But I don't know if that's going to be before Callisto Protocol because, you know, I want to do Dead Space 1. I might do 2 and 3, but I don't know if I'm going to have the time because there's a lot of stuff going on in the fall in terms of the Village Gold Edition and all this stuff. So, let's see. Chloe in RE5? Yeah, one day, Minecraft. I answered you. One day. But I got to collab with a bunch of other RE YouTubers that I have on my list, so. You know who you are. Jedi says, I'm waiting for Sony to hopefully add the classic RE2 and 3 in a collection. I've never played the original 3 games, only the remakes. Yeah, man. I'm really upset that they put it behind... My cat's, like, right here, so... They put it behind a subscription wall. Like, I just want to be able... I know in the UK and Europe, I think, or you can actually get the... I saw some kind of post. You can actually buy it. And you could buy it from your PS3 thing. So I did that with Siphon Filter. I did it with Jumping Flash. I did it with Toy Story 2. But Sony said that you can individually buy the games, or if you already bought them, you can download them. I know this is a different director's cut, supposed to be, but if you can buy it in different countries, then what's the big deal? I just want to buy it. I don't want to have to sign up for the PlayStation service just to do it. You could still buy them on PS3, but that's not the point. You know what I mean? The point is they honored my Siphon Filter purchase from PS3, and I downloaded it. They honored they honored that stuff, and I was able to download it again. And Tekken 2 and RE Director's Cut are the only two that are behind that subscription wall. And if you could buy them on PS3, why can't you buy them on the 5? You know what I mean? I would buy it again. I would literally buy it again. But yeah, I agree. They're a must-play. If they do add 2 and 3 on there, that would be pretty tempting because they do upgrade, the textures and stuff like that. It runs just like Duck Station. So if you ever play Duck Station on PC, the way the textures are improved and everything, it pretty much looks like that. It is running on an emulator. So that's not really a surprise. That's, they definitely looked at what emulators are doing and they're like, we got to do that because no one's going to want to play, this stuff and just have it look the same like it was on PS3. I know it had smooth textures and stuff like that, and you can edit the settings and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, I wish they put that on there. RE4 ranks for me probably on... It's probably on my top 10. I don't know if it's on my top 5. It's probably very close. RE4, the original Jacob, ranks really high for me. Daimel says, do you prefer the live-action films or animated films? Definitely the animated films, but I do think the first 3 of the live-action stuff is decent enough to watch. We're going to be kicking off our Extinction review hopefully really soon, so I'm going to record that with my buddy Tyler. Oh, and 7, you're talking about Chloe, Jennifer. Yeah, they didn't really... Or Zoe, you mean? Zoe? Is that who you're talking about? Chloe, I'm thinking of Uncharted, right? Should RE9 have more action-y RE6 style and bring in a bunch of legacy characters, or a personal story? Probably a personal story with Chris or Jill, Mike. That's what I would like. Yeah, exactly. Mariu, Reku. I don't even know if I said that right, but yeah, I definitely hang on my PS3 as well, just so I can have all that stuff. And I purchased some of that stuff ahead of time and hoping I could just download it. But yeah, hopefully they can just, I don't know, change it. I don't know if it's a Capcom and Sony thing. They got to just, like, put that on there so I can buy Director's Cut. Apparently, locking games behind a PS Plus subscription is a developer-by-developer basis. Yeah, I know, but it's like, dude, come on. Like, just let me buy it. I'll buy it for it's like my 15th time buying RE1. Just let me do it. Aztec, the RE Netflix series, I will be covering it next month. It does come out next month, so that's going to be some coverage I'm going to have to do in July. I'm not that excited about it. We've gotten burned so many times with the live action stuff, but I'm going to hold my tongue. I'm going to hold my opinion. I'm going to watch it. So, yeah. It's just going to be a matter of time before, there's more people coming out that are, that might like it, and that's fine if people like it. But yeah, I'm not really like that stoked on it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of RE stuff going on, live action, the gaming and stuff. Question: Do you own a game? Do you game on Dead by Daylight? Yes. I played it a couple times, but I don't like go on it all the time. But I do have it on Game Pass on Xbox, so I do have it, and I want to try to play with a couple people that are fans of the show. I just never really had the chance to like get on and play it. You know what I mean? That's on me though. Um, yeah, I did play through Siphon Filter on the PS5 though. I got the platinum. So I played through that, and that was really cool. That was fun to kind of go through that again, relive all the memories. Do you think we'll get another season or animated Resident Evil project of Infinite Darkness? Oh man, I hope so, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I would like them to explore more into that universe, but no, the PS5 version of Director's Cut is not the basement music one. Everybody that for some reason like there's certain people online, not you guys, but there's certain people I see on social media that think that Director's Cut in general just has that bad music because they just think that has the basement theme and everything, but it doesn't. On the non-DualShock, but the one that they have up there is a specific one. It's non-DualShock, but it supports the analog sticks, but it doesn't have the swapped music. So it has the original soundtrack, but you can still use the analog sticks, which is very interesting. But it is a different version of the game, so maybe they're like, oh, maybe that's why you can't re-download it from your PS3 library, right? Because it is the different version. But people in Europe were able to download it again if they bought it on PS3. You just had to like go through a loophole. Good, Brandon. Yeah, because I'm going to be wrapping up in like 10 minutes. So, yeah, get that installed on your external. What's up, Jin, fellow YouTube member in here? Got a bit late to this one. I have to watch the Hangout. I have to watch this Hangout. It's a must. Thanks for coming in, man. They could do... I mean, Mike, they could do Leon in any main game. I think they'll easily... I mean, I would hope they would wrap up those stories in main games. Everything you mentioned there, The one from PS3 is the greatest hits, right? But what's weird about that, Mario, is it's the bad one with different music, but people in Europe were able to download it again, individually download it again on their PS5, and it's the old version with the older music, but you can use the analog stick. So it's so weird. That's what's really weird. Like I saw that post and I was like, that's fucking weird that like they can do it over there. Now, granted, it's 50 hertz because that's what they, put them up as over there on those stores. But at the same time, like, dude, I just want to play it. Like, I just want to have it. I don't want to have to be signed up to constantly play, a 26-year-old game, 25-year-old game. I mean, the first one's 26-year-old. Director's Cut is more 25 years old. But still, it's like, dude, what the hell? If you can re-download it on the other store and it works in a different country, then why doesn't it work over here? Very weird. Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing that too, Mike. Is that like 9 being the last number? You always kind of hear that with these games. We heard the same thing about 6. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's the last numbered," but they ended up kind of keeping it going. But I definitely think that if you're going to continue the timeline, you should wind down, the characters a little bit. Bro, how do you not get burnt out on Resident Evil after playing, streaming, talking, uploading it? How do you do it, man? Basically, just, my second channel, doing filmmaking on the side, because I'm not just like a Resident Evil, content creator all the time, so that's a big thing. And the other thing is to play other games, you know what I mean? So it's just like, But yeah, just sorry about that. I had to cut out the audio for a second. No, just just trying to play the different games that are not Resident Evil, like because I like so many different style of gaming. You know what I mean? Like it could be from Halo to Red Dead to GTA to just classic games I like to play. So yeah, I like to switch it up and play that kind of stuff. And it's not making content, when I do those games. And even if I want to, I could do that on my other channel. But even then, yeah, to not get burnt out, Team Kong, it's just like to constantly just have fun with it. And when you enjoy it, you don't really get burnt out when you go back to it, especially when there's new stuff. Even when there's not new stuff, there's always dice locks and there's different ways to keep it innovative, you know what I mean? And you guys keep it refreshing, the community. I did see Blackphone Stevie Mac. It's fucking awesome. It's so killer. The time is now. Yes, Messiah, I agree. Word says, boo. With all these remakes, I got a feeling Capcom will stop after 4. I don't think so, George. They might do 1 remake again. Whoever wants to game, he put his gamer tag in there. Just DM me, add me in the game, an actual friends list, and yes, I have the mic. There you go. Memory Thirst is ready to play. Ashley Graham in RE4 Remake looks like she was wearing a purple dress and a red scarf, similar to Claire. Didn't look purple. Definitely didn't look purple. What's up, thank you, Jin, for the 20 try. Some people find out that they love what they love and stick to it. Simple as that. That's true, Word. That's very true. It should have been Leon and Ada, Chris and Jill and Jake, Wesker and Sherry. Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of remakes. Even The Last of Us is getting a remake, and it hasn't even been that long. Yeah, I know. I'm not paying full price for that. Yeah, no, Leo, they'll probably take that out. Have you played Omega Strain and Dark Mirror for the Siphon Filter series? I was blown with how they ended the series. Yeah, Dark Mirror was great, but I think Logan Shadow was the last one, and I did play that, but it makes the game end on like a cliffhanger, and I always thought that was so dumb that they did that. I wish they finished it, but did Ada and Leon get it on between 4 and 6? No, Mike. To your excitement, they did not. Would you ever do an RE4 randomizer? Yeah, I would definitely have to learn how to get that running because I know that's a big thing. So I'll probably do that. Next month I'm going to do the RE4 and Oculus though, so that's going to be part of Summer of RE. I never played Cold Fear by Ubisoft, but I know that's an RE4, that's a RE4, so I definitely have to play that. There'll never be a perfect survival horror game like RE1 Remake. I mean, I kind of agree, Team Kong. I think that's the perfect remake. That's the perfect Resident Evil game, perfect Resident Evil. I mean, my favorite's still the original trilogy in 3. But I think as far as a remake's concerned, man, that's how you do it. Because that really solidifies old school Resident Evil with the old school cameras, how they won't do it ever again. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was just really, really cool to see where they're going to take it. And again, they can easily go back and do RE1 again. Doesn't mean it's going to be, it's going to be anything that's going to blow the first one out the water, the first remake, because I still think that's my favorite remake, even with 2 and 3 out now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, guys. It could go either way. But thank you so much for checking out this live stream. Really appreciate you guys coming in. And just thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for the super chats and chatting it up with some RE4 Remake hype hangout stream. Really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, just stay tuned for more content coming out. I'm going to start we're going to continue the Summer of RE on Monday. So you guys are going to, you can have this little video stream for the weekend, and then I will be back next week with more live streams and video coverage on RE4. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for keeping me going. And I'll catch you as the road to RE4 Remake continues.